Welcome to the Social Source podcast. If you guys could see me now, we have left the office and we are sitting in the most beautiful studio. It's called 1971 Studios, and it's the studio and the business of a very good friend of mine, Mohammed Al Khalili. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Should I wave now? Hey, Mama, I made it.
You're on TV.
Yes, I am.
Yes, because we are on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and the podcast.
Amazing. I'm so happy I'm here.
Awesome. Like, I've been meaning to do this for a long time because on the podcast, I have a lot of business owners, solopreneurs who have beautiful businesses, incredible missions and ideas. But when it comes to showing up on social media and building communities, there's a block that can happen.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. So.
And it's holding a lot of people back because they have these amazing messages and missions. And I've seen your journey firsthand, which has been incredible to witness.
Thank you.
And the growth that you've experienced. So my first question for you is, how has building a community, creating content and showing up online changed your life?
Okay, cool. I think this is a good way to start. No pressure, huh, with all the people watching. Honestly, there is no golden formula for you to start your own way, but there are certain steps. Mm-hmm. And I believe the most important one is patience. Like with every client I sit down when I open the studio, the first thing I'll tell them, hey, if you're not patient, I don't think it will work out. Not for me, it's for you. Because I've been patient enough, so I can't be patient for you. I can advise you to be patient. And the reason why you need to be patient is because, like you said, you used the word building. Building takes time. Like when you watch a building being built, you're admiring it every day, taking the form or the shape that it is going to be.
It's got a strong foundation.
Exactly. So you need to have this strong foundation. And a lot of them only look at the end result and go like, hey, I want that, which is something called immediate gratification. And it's something that's, excuse me for using this word, but it's not reasonable. Because if you go to the gym, are you going to have muscles the next day? Are you going to lose all the weight that you want to lose in one day? Can you just point out at a model and go like, hey, I want to be this model? Yeah, like you're showing them a reference. And I never really say these things, so it's good that we're having this episode so that people understand the business mentality of being patient, not only in real life, because we do implement it on daily basis. So if you do give these references of, hey, if you go to the gym or if you look at the building being built or whatever, okay, or even countries having history, just like the country we're living in, which is UAE, a country that's been here for like 50 years, but their vision took time. Implementing it took time, but their patience is what made them the way they are today. So, and I think the thing that we were discussing before even opening the podcast is, the episode, is that the discipline of making time for these things. Sometimes what people don't realize, and this is what I like about your page, to be honest, and I'm not saying this only because I'm on this episode, is that you're consistent on your own way, on your own time frame, which means, hey, I don't need to compare myself to someone who's posting every day 3 times. I can post 3 times a week, but at least it shows my own personality. And by personality, I mean, see, everything I'm going to say, I'm going to give a small example that they can relate to. When we were kids, and I'm sorry if I'm talking too much, but
no, go ahead.
But I guess a podcast is a podcast, Like when we were kids, we'd watch a certain character in a cartoon, and we'd like that. For example, the pirate who has a parrot on his shoulder, right? Now, what's up with the parrot? You don't even know, okay? But because this personality, and there's so many of his followers on the ship, but you like the fact that he has a parrot on his shoulder. And it's weird for other people. Like, I'm sure the crew on the ship will go like, what's up with the parrot, sorry. And we like that person because it's his own character. You get it? He built a character for himself through the parrot. And there was this one of the influencers, he's very young. He would always show up with a baby doll. And he became known because of the baby doll, because it's weird and it stands out. So this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying you have to do weird things. I'm just saying every person has his own character, his own personalities. So every business should have its own character, its own theme. You get it? Just
I
like
love it.
yeah, just like the pirate.
I love it.
Yeah.
You said the word character,
Exactly.
and like character is something in a human being that is developed
100%.
over time.
Yes.
And we only develop character like going through challenges and things like that. So something also what you brought up there was like how we have to be patient, because if I think about it, if I said I want 1 million followers tomorrow, and I wake up in the morning and I have 1 million followers, right? Because everybody wants
Yeah.
1 million followers. And you wake up in the morning and you have 1 million followers. I want you to just imagine for a second you have 1 million people waiting to hear from you, waiting to watch your every move. Are you ready for that? Right? Like, have you built the character? Like, have you been through the challenges? Are you able to hold the energy of that? So I think that's so important. Like you said, as a first conversation with anyone is like, get ready.
Yeah.
This is a journey.
It is. And okay, this might sound a bit cliche because I heard it on Instagram, is that people do not enjoy the journey. They just want the end result.
So true.
Yeah, and honestly, guys, if you get 1 million follower, and like you said, Haley, if you just sleep and wake up and you get 1 million followers, this will be the most boring, successful story I've ever heard that you will get bored of in a week.
Yes.
You know, and you'd probably throw it to someone to handle it.
Yes.
Because your story is not involved in this. Like if someone comes and tells you, how did you get 1 million followers? Can you tell me the story? You'd be invited to a TV show or a podcast or whatever it is. Your story would be so short and boring, you know? Like, hey, I woke up, I don't know, boom. Okay, then that's it.
I don't know why they follow me. I don't know what they want to hear.
Did you do anything? Do you have a certain story? What makes you different from other companies? I don't know. I wanted 1 million followers, you know?
You don't even know.
You don't even know. So honestly, the longer it is, the more stable it is, and the more returning customers that you'll have. Because these people are not only relating to the product, they're relating to the story behind the product. And this is what's missing in the market. Some companies do have it. Some companies are aware of it on a later stage. They were boring and then they turn into this character thing. So I believe if you are someone who's working with his whole heart towards this business, just like I see you working on your business, put your character into it. Really, put your colors. Choose your own theme, choose your own font, choose your own, whatever you want to do. And this is the best part of it. Like, if I was to create a certain figure, imaginary figure, anything, and I have all the options to customize it, why would I go and get another reference from another person who did his? It's like cheating. You get it? Only to fasten the process, and it won't. It's just a repetitive process. Yeah. So people, I guess we're in the time of nobody has time.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah, so people want a shortcut.
Exactly. It's a fast-paced generation.
Yeah.
And I'm just skipping and everything. But what they don't realize is that there's so much potential in every business, only if you put time to it.
Yes. I mean, I remember when we were working in the advertising agency, because we used to work in the agency together.
Yeah.
And this was like back in the day when social media was still new and brands were still figuring it out. And it was like graphic images with a caption.
Correct.
Right? That was it.
I remember.
And then it was Snapchat came on the scene, and it was like, okay, we need to do video. And then it was like Instagram stories, and now we have TikTok. And I see so many businesses being built and personal brands being built on TikTok because people are showing up and they're just sharing their story.
True.
They're showing up and they're saying, this is where I want to go. This is where I'm now. Here's what I'm dealing with. This is what's helped me. And this storytelling formula has become the norm and the expectation. And I've noticed that a lot of social media marketing agencies are actually asking for help. Like they're reaching out for consultancy and they're like, how do we do social media marketing? Because it's changed so much.
True.
And they're like, what do we do? what happened to the polished graphics,
Yeah.
which has become like traditional media now?
I was talking to my partner the other day about this, and he was telling me, whatever you're doing is great. Just always move with the market, you know? Because at a certain point, okay, let's say our edits are nice, our videos are nice, our concepts are nice, our direction is nice, but we need to always change with the market. And I think what's lacking in the marketing agencies is that they do not have people on the platform. They get people to monitor other businesses that themselves do not know what to do, who contact you for help. But what they need is, okay, you know what? There's someone who's on TikTok. He's doing videos that are getting 300,000 to 500,000 views. Regardless of that, the platform helps you because of algorithm. But they're consistent. They have multiple ideas on daily basis or whatever it is. I need to hire that person. You are inside the market itself because that guy is involved in this platform.
Yes, 100%, 100%. And also, that's also another good point is like when people jump onto a platform, like they just jump onto TikTok and they use their old way. They don't spend time consuming content, understanding what are people talking about here? What do people like? What is the like environment? It's like walking into a party or like walking into a room and just talking instead of being like, okay, what's the vibe?
Exactly. Read the room.
Read the room.
Yeah.
Read the room.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So I just want to go back to your story and your journey because right now you're a TV presenter, you're an entrepreneur, and you're a content creator. But where did all of this start?
Okay. I'm trying to look back at where it started exactly. The thing is, there were so many chapters to it, and every chapter was different from the one before. At a lot of times, I felt lost of what content should I post, because you do feel this responsibility where people are following you for a reason, you know, so because they're curious. At the end of the day, you're a human element, not a product. But the journey was always changing. It was never the same. There's no way for you to maintain anyone if you're not changing. And that applies on business as well, by the way. So it started off with, I would say, fashion, outfits, whatever. And I remember I was an intern with you guys, and then I left. And from there, I joined a YouTuber. The YouTubers started saying, oh, they want your Instagram. The audience wants your Instagram. And I grew from there. And then PR, the same company we were working with, started calling me. And the first event was Lacoste. And like, hey, we want you and we're going to give you a product. And, you know, and I was like, what? Did I make it? Imagine, that was just the first step. And from there, it started growing. Okay, no, you know what? We're going to pay you for this. And then I started having different ideas of posting. And I was like, okay, you know what? I feel like I'm standing out because other people go like, yeah, you know what? At least you're not just posing and posting. At least there's something creative into it.
There's depth, yeah.
Exactly. And then I started talking on stories a lot. I oh my God, I can't believe how much I used to talk. Like, I want to get back this energy, but it is what it is. And I had a fall down on a certain period of time, which is completely normal.
Okay, but showing up on stories and just speaking like from your heart, that played a big role in like connecting to your community.
Yes, 100%. Because people started also by time figuring out your personality. Like, okay, this guy, he has a good sense of humor. He has a good sense of, I don't know, outfits or whatever. He seems like, let's say, a genuine person who's not trying so hard to become someone. You get it?
Good energy.
Exactly.
Because look, you weren't always speaking in English and you're speaking in Arabic. And I was watching these videos and I honestly didn't always know what you were saying. But I was like, well, this is a vibe.
Yeah. I mean,
it feels real.
Yeah, because it's your own thing. You're showing reality. You're not going out with your friends for the sake of making content. You're making content of whatever you're living in the moment.
Yes.
And the reason why I'm saying there's a lot of stages and everything is because during this journey, you're also discovering yourself. It's not only that the audience is discovering you. By the way, when I say they're discovering you, by time they notice things and they tell you, like, hey, I'm not talking about looks, by the way. I'm talking about you're quieter now. Hey, are you in love? Hey, are you busy with something? You get my point?
Yes.
I feel like you and a certain person are not speaking as much. So yeah,
That's a good one. I want to dive into that with you because
Sure, go
also
ahead.
like there's a vulnerability to showing up,
100%.
and maybe that holds a lot of people back because they think I don't want to be seen so much. And I think that if you're feeling that way, there is a point where you can say I'm not willing to talk about love
Yeah,
or those friendships, or and it's up to you. Like you have that boundary that you can
100%.
set with your community, right?
yes. And I did a lot of times. I would never speak about love. And I would never speak about friends, regardless if they were still in my life or not. I would speak about me quitting my job. You know, I would speak about, hey guys, there's something coming up. I'll speak about stuff that would, because I'm happy about it in elevating my career. But again, I think at least to a bare minimum, we should mention the things that do not make us happy in life, because we are speaking about reality. And the reality is it's not always rainbows and butterflies. There are downhills. But I guess we choose what we choose because we're sometimes afraid of, because there are some
Yes.
people who are waiting for you to fail.
Yes.
That is reality.
Yes.
Maybe we don't know who they are, but at least in my subconscious mind, I know for a fact there are like 2-3 people who are waiting for me to fail. And like you said, being consistent in being successful is not easy at all. By the way, being successful doesn't mean you have to be the best in the world. It just means that you're better than last year. At least.
Yes.
You know?
It's you against you.
It's you against you, and as cliche as it sounds, but it is reality. If I look a year back, I didn't have this business, you know, and I was maybe a year back. Yeah, I wasn't employed, you know. I had just quit a TV show, and look, I'm back on TV and I'm back on this, and I'm, you know, every year is just different. At least you're better. So these people are with you on the journey. At the beginning, you're gonna feel like, okay, I'm being too vulnerable. They can see through me, whatever. But I promise you, this is what people like. And this is what attracts the long-lasting, whatever, clients or business owners or customers,
Yes.
people who buy your products. They
Yes.
want to relate to a story. They want a genuine soul.
I think we can hold back on sharing these vulnerable things because we feel like we must be the only ones going through this, and we'll wait until we figured it out and everything's perfect again, then we'll show up. So people go through phases of like 2 weeks, maybe months of not showing up at all until everything's figured out.
Yeah,
But everybody has their shit.
true.
Like everybody has their shit. So when you show up and you say, this is the shit that I'm dealing with, more people are listening to that going, yeah, I felt that way too.
Exactly. And those are the people you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you're an empath as well, right? Pisces, water sign.
Oh, yeah.
So you're an empath, and like this can feel, I mean, for me it felt like such a vulnerability, but now it's such a superpower because it's your ability to tap into what your audience needs to hear.
100%.
Like you can almost feel people need to hear this today. Or if it felt like this for me,
Yeah,
you know, it's
and
gonna help
I'll
them.
tell you something. So, because it's in Arabic, so I need to explain it to you. The things that I post with these mics, and I post like 1-minute videos of, it's a mix of an advice plus my experience of a certain thing that I went through, life thing. It's not a quote I read and I just want to say it. No, it's when I say it, I feel it. And at the beginning, and believe it or not, so the first post that I did, it stayed in my phone for 10 days, fully edited, done, ready to post. 10 days, I'm thinking, and this is coming from a guy who's now posting every now and then, you know, and I have been posting before it every now and then, but just not this type of material, which means I changed into a new category now. I'm tackling a new audience, which means I could lose audience.
That fear.
Yeah, you get my point? So I was going into a new phase now where I feel like, you know, I'm out of the previous stage. I have outgrown it. Want to let go of that skin, wear a new one, which fits me more. And right now that skin was just too big. And I felt like, oh, what if people make fun of me? So I put on that skin and I went on the mic and I did this episode, stayed on my phone for 10 days. And I remember I was at the gym, 11 p.m., alone. Nobody was there. And I kept thinking, this is a very funny story. I think I said it once only to one of my friends. And I hope people believe it because this is not, I don't bullshit, excuse my French. So, because between the sets I was thinking too much, there was one guy, he came to me, he's like, you're not working out. I said, he's like, you're thinking too much. He was just saying it. I was like, well, how does it, okay, maybe it shows. It shows, my body language shows. And he's like, whatever it is, do it.
Best advice.
And I was like, what? He's like, do it. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. I was like, okay. And I just posted. And I threw my phone in the locker. I went to the locker, I ran and I put it in the locker and I came back to the gym. I started working out and my mind was there. I was like, what's happening, you know? But I kept working out. I said, I did it, you know, when you jump into the sea and that's it.
Yes.
And the response was insane. Still, I had worries because I was like, every time you do something for the first time, okay, it's nice to get support, but is it a genuine support though? Because the second time you do it, 50% of the people that supported you on the first time won't be there. Okay, it's nice that they supported and I appreciate it. And it could be genuine, but people don't have time to support you on every post, obviously. Okay, so the next point was, when I post the second one, only the people that relate to the words and the experience that I said are going to support now. So now we start filtering the people who are just complimenting you from the people that can relate to you. And this is why we go like, okay, I need consistency, you know, so that you filter out your audience.
Yes.
Filter them.
Yes.
You put them into the category. You know this, the sand thing that falls? Yeah. Even when you do coffee, the filtered coffee, some of it stays up, some of it goes down, and you're filtering. And this is how people are in terms of audience, you know?
Yes.
The water is the material or the content that you're pouring. And whatever falls with it is the audience that you are attracting because you can relate to them and they feel it. And this is the audience that you want.
Yes.
You don't want numbers for nothing. You want people with effect. And then I swear to you, some people who were so close started saying, for example, minority, like 2 or 3. But I'm talking about personal people that I know, not people that are following me.
Yeah.
And they go like, I feel like it's not really you.
Ooh.
Which is fine. And I don't blame them because I'll tell you why. When I'm around you, you see all of me. And you see me when I'm crazy and jumping and happy. And you see me when I'm sad and angry. And so when you see that only video, you won't accept it as this is the whole me. Because you know the whole me.
Yeah.
And on social media, we don't show the whole of us.
And it's not possible.
No way.
In a 1 minute video?
No way.
Muhammad?
Exactly.
With all of like who you are?
Even
no
if
way.
I tell you who I am in 1 minute, you won't believe it.
No way.
Exactly. But I saw other people that I know, not as close, and they would go like, one time in the middle of the night, I saw your video and I actually cried. And I go like, but I didn't say something that makes you cry. She's like, you touched my heart with a certain word. One word. I go like, whoa.
That's impact.
That's what it hit. And I was like, you know what? That one person, I want to keep posting for them. Imagine, from 84,000, because I touched one person. And then that one person became so many people. And I looked at the people who would, okay, now forget the likes, forget the views, forget the comments. I would look at the shares. At a certain point, I reached 1,000 shares for one video.
Wow.
And I go like, how many people related to this that they would share it? If they didn't relate, they sent it to someone that can relate.
That's the power
of
sharing those vulnerable moments.
And then that big outfit started taking my shape. The one I told you, the skin that I was too loose on me, started taking my shape. And I was like, now I know. And the good thing about it is that I'm just saying what I feel from whatever experiences that I've been through, you know, and I didn't expect so many people would relate. And I would say something people already know, by the way, but in my own words, and I use very powerful words, you know, and that opened the door for TV all over again. And they got like, hey, we want you as a guest. I was like, why? I actually asked, why do you want me as a guest? Because any other person would go like, yes. Don't you want to know why you're invited? Okay. They're like, we love your videos. We feel like you do a big impact. And I had told my friend once, this will open the door of TV again for me. So when I went there to the TV host, the guy was in a way trying to make fun of me, and he's like, "So if I put a sad music on anything, like I'm going to the supermarket, and I get views on it, don't you think it's like, is the sad music that's playing at all?" I'm like, "This is your point of view, and yeah, I know it's weird, but this is your point of view, and it's fine to think that way, because at the end of the day, there is no right and wrong. There's just different tastes." So, and when I said that, the guy was silenced, and the producer was super impressed, and they got me to be on the same show. So I was invited as a guest
with the TV host.
With the TV host.
Damn.
Yeah. So
For being yourself.
For being myself, and what people don't understand is if someone says I don't like this content, it's them only. It's not the whole world. And just like you like a certain car, and there's so many people that like the same car, and there's so many people that don't like the same car that you like.
Yeah.
It's the same way with the content.
People, you know, like me, people pleasers, who you don't want to make people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
The thing to remember is you want to put out your opinion, and you want to put it out boldly so that it speaks to the people that you're meant to speak to and have the impact. Like you said, she was crying, that one person messaged you. To have that level of impact, you need to say something. You need to put out a strong opinion or belief or true story. And there will be people who disagree with it, who don't like it, who feel triggered by it.
Yes.
And it's got nothing to do with you.
100%.
You had the experience and the opportunities come to you once you started putting out content that was more of you.
100%.
And this is what, like, sometimes I use the word magnetic content. And this is exactly like this perfect example, because just like a magnet, when you turn it on, the more you turn it on, the more it's going to attract what's right to it. And it will naturally repel, filter out, like you said, what's not for it.
100%.
And when you show up on social media and you're putting out content, some people will say, oh, it's a waste of time. But honestly, it actually reduces time. Because how long would it have taken to get a TV opportunity, like to be emailing them and saying, hey, I would like to be on TV? Or you create that destiny, that reality for yourself by putting out content and someone seeing it going, hey, we want that guy.
Exactly.
Just being yourself.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
There's a very nice story that happened here, and the guys who are behind the cameras, they know them. So there was this guy. He called me up. He's like, hey, I have a business. It's a clothing brand, and it's for an event that already happened and finished. It was the World Cup. Okay, the guy did hoodies with you saw Messi lifting the World Cup.
Yes.
He was wearing some Arabic cloth.
Yes.
So it was a hoodie with Arabic cloth and Argentinian jersey.
Cool.
So the guy was like, the event finished, the World Cup finished, but I did like 500 pieces. Do you think it's too late? Because my friends are telling me it's too late. I said, no, it's not too late. I said, the amount of Messi fans out there is insane. He's like, but the event is over. I said, I don't care. Messi fans will always celebrate that he won the World Cup because he won it once. It's not every day that he won it or every year. So I'm like, bring the jersey, the hoodies. Let's take pictures of them. He's like, are you sure? He came. He got his friends. I saw the energy of his friends. They were supporting him, but they didn't really believe in that. He's like, I'm going to do the pictures only because you did it, you told me, and I'm going to post them only because you told me. I'm like, listen, you did them, and posting them is free. Okay?
Exactly.
And we're done shooting. So the big part is done. Now it's just posting. The guy sold more than 10,000 pieces in 2 months.
Amazing.
The guy made a fortune. And those guys, you guys saw him, you remember him. And it's just a matter of go for it.
Go for it.
Just go for it. And if even 10% of that story happened, you're still successful. Because what would you rather have? Negative in your pocket?
Yes.
Or plus 10% or 50% or whatever it is.
And have that idea in your head and knowing that you never acted on it.
Yeah.
Like how many ideas, how many times are you sitting around the table with friends and your friend has a business idea and they tell you their business idea and you're like, yes, that's amazing, you should go for it. And then they're like, yeah, but other people have done it before, or what will my family say or my friends say?
100%. this thing about what would my family say or what would my friends say. You can't believe how many times this thought came to my mind. But honestly, whatever we're doing now has been done. There's nothing new that you're doing. It's just, again, the importance of your personality and character into it. How many studios are there in Dubai? So many. And I'm so late, opening one. But I have my own audience.
Exactly.
And how many burgers are there in Dubai, burger places? Insane.
Hundreds.
Yeah, but still
there's space.
for every person, for everything, there is an audience.
100%.
For everything. And people are just too scared, and even if they start it. They say the first step is the most important. It is important, but the bigger step is the consistency of it.
Yes,
And
execution.
people are not willing to wait for a year or two to grow.
Yes, it goes back to patience.
Yeah. Even on bad days, if that's the way you
Yes.
think. Like in Ramadan, it was a slow month. But every day I would go like, okay, I'm not making money, but I swear to God, after Eid, look what's going to happen. Does that mean I have already confirmed clients? No. But I believe with my personality, with whatever content that we're going to create to post, with whatever trend we're going to join on our own way, not copying people, we will get clients. And that's what's happening.
It's trust.
Yes. And social media is making things easier for you right now. Like you can boost.
And how does that trust, like how does spirituality or religion play into trusting the process?
To be honest, so the part that people confuse things with is manifesting. And I believe in that. But I've seen so many people say it, but they don't really know the definition of it. The definition of manifesting is basically you work to the utmost power that you have.
Mm-hmm.
You pull all your cards, you go all in, you execute every single plan, A, B, and C, and D, and when nothing works out, you still go the extra mile.
You still believe.
Exactly. In your head, you go like, I swear it's going to happen.
This is it, because they say the universe will test you the most. Like, how badly do you want this?
Exactly.
And that's when most people, 99% will give up, but the ones that hang on are the ones that break through.
Exactly. That's a very good example that you said. The ones that hang on are the ones that pull through. And it's because he reminds me of a coach. He's an Arsenal coach for a football club. He said he stayed a coach for 20 years in that club. He said the amount of talents that I've seen during those 20 years, and I did the calculation of numbers. So there's so many footballers in this world, right?
Yeah.
He said 99% of them do not pass the age of 21 without dropping off.
Consistency. Wow. And the ones that just push through,
those are the ones that reach the
change
first
the game.
The first team, and they compete, and then when you reach, imagine after you becoming that 1%, how happy should you be?
The feeling.
Right? That's when the consistency starts. Can you imagine?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So after you pass,
there's no end.
Exactly. It doesn't end, guys. There is no resting. There is no putting your leg on another leg and go like, yes, or put your hand on your cheek and go like, I've done it. It's not now.
Yes. Okay. This is such a good direction, because now going back to, we said, imagine you wake up to 1 million followers. Now you have to keep showing up for them. So if you don't enjoy the content that you create, if you don't enjoy the process, if it doesn't feel authentic and real and genuine to you, and it's not real to your life or your story, then it's going to feel hard, unsustainable, and it's not going to work.
100%. Yeah. So, I mean, all these big companies, even like Emirates Airlines, started back in 1985.
Yes.
How small was the airport?
And you're looking at it now going, okay, now it's big. But
It's almost the number one, if not already the number one.
Oh, yeah.
It used to fly only to 1 or 2 destinations. Can you imagine?
The vision.
Yeah.
Holding the vision.
Consistency, putting the right elements in the right places, having your own identity.
Dubai is a manifestation.
It is. It is, to be
100%.
honest. I'll be honest with you. Yes, sometimes we do need, because it's a very fast-paced city, and we do need that break and run to nature and hear the birds and whatever. But I feel like if I stay too long away from Dubai, my motivation gets lower.
Yes.
Because everyone around you is doing something here.
Yes.
And everybody's making money and everybody's becoming successful in a certain way.
It's an energy.
Exactly. And here, social media is something.
Yes.
It's something big and used. So it's a weapon that is literally in your hand, but you're not using it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the only limit is here.
100%.
Like your mind and your body are literally the only things holding you back from showing up and then attracting the most aligned opportunities to you.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
And what people don't understand is that it's the fish that gets the shark. Sometimes it's 100 fishes. But they go like, oh, I put the fish. Okay, throw the next one, until the big shark comes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That goes back, like a great analogy for posting,
Yeah.
right? Like you put out one post, okay, it doesn't do well. Put out the next one. Put out the next one. Like keep going. One of them is going to hit.
100%. My first 5 episodes barely got anything, 5 to 10K, which is normal on my page. The 6th or 7th hit 160K. And I'm talking about Instagram. And Instagram has algorithm that chokes you.
Oh.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
It has to be said. Yeah.
Not like TikTok.
Not like TikTok.
Yeah.
And even on TikTok, some of them would make 500K, some of them would make 2K. But I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of the journey.
Exactly. There's no such thing. There's nothing in this world that will maintain its place 24/7. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, there's
Oh, yeah.
no such thing.
Exactly. Like engagement is never going to look like this upward graph.
Yeah.
It's
For-
always going to look like this.
Exactly. No, you're not even in social
Yeah.
media. I'm talking about in our life.
Life.
There is nothing that remains, even your state of mind, even your body shape, even your relationship with your partner, even your business, everything in your life. Nothing stays the same 24/7 every day.
It's working towards it every day.
Yeah. You push it. When it's down, you push. When it's down, it's push.
And it's about making those choices. And like when you said you had this post and you were in the gym and you were overthinking it, but what I noticed was you couldn't stop thinking about it.
I couldn't.
So this means that it felt scary, but you knew deep down that this was something you should share because
Yes.
somebody would resonate with it. So you faced the fear, you
Yes.
jumped into the cold water, you posted it, you just put your phone away, let it go, let it reach who it needs to reach,
Yes.
and it had this massive impact.
Exactly.
And I think we can often confuse, like when we start to feel like uncomfortable or nervous about putting content out there, that we think, oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe my body's telling me I shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
But actually, if you push past that discomfort and you know that this is something that you want to put out, then there's so much magic on the other side.
First, 100% I agree, because this is exactly how I feel. The other day I was posting, I had announced my return to season 2 of my own small episodes, and I did 2 here, and suddenly a radio host spoke to me on Instagram, please continue doing these things. And I was like, really?
What was the message?
A lot of times you feel like you've been buried, like in a dark place, and you feel like you're lost. Don't feel down, don't feel anything, because you're buried to bloom, just like a plant.
Seeds.
Yes.
Nice.
And
I love that.
yeah, and I don't know if she related to that, but she loved it.
Amazing.
And she's known, and she's like, do a couple of more, and I want you to come to Saudi, and I'll host you as a guest in my radio show.
Look at that.
So, I mean, if you don't do anything, you won't get anything.
This is it.
Yeah.
There's so much here. Like, because also, again, like we were saying, like original thought, there's not original thoughts. A lot of us are saying ideas that have stood the test of time, but you're saying it in your way, your style, your personality, and you're adding your unique stories to it. And that is making this unique secret sauce combination that is you. And that is resonating with people who might have heard the same message 100 times, but when they heard it from you, it was like, oh, I get it now.
100%. This is
Get it
exactly the
now.
message I'm trying to give people is that you know this already. You know it, but I said it in a way that I could touch you. You know, like you can resonate now.
You have a very good skill with storytelling.
Yes.
Which is amazing because this is, if there's one skill you can learn, is storytelling. And like just looking in your life for stories every day, like being a participant in your life and looking like, oh, what did I learn? Like being self-reflective of your day and taking those lessons and then sharing them on your social media, you know, someone's going to resonate with
100%. And I'm also good in imagining, visioning.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's your
Pisces thing. We live in a world of, I don't know, it's a world, I always say, by the way, my partner once made fun of me. He's like, you always imagine things, you're always imagining,
Yes.
like you live in your wonderland. I said, you'll be surprised. He said, why? I said, because it's true. I'm not going to deny it. I do live in my la la land.
Yes.
But whatever ideas I get here in my la la land, I push so much for them to move from the la la land to reality.
Yes.
And this is what keeps me going. It's the imaginary thoughts that I want to turn into reality. Because if I don't think that way, then I feel like I'm empty.
And look,
And that's me, you know.
this is amazing. This skill, this imaginary skill that, like, I know for many of us when we were younger, we made fun of it. Like I was also told, you're always daydreaming, you're always in your head.
Yes.
Now, look with AI coming, and it's taking so many, like mundane jobs, right?
Yes.
But your imagination, no one can
No,
take that away from
no
you.
one.
Like your creativity,
Literally.
no one.
It's a storytelling thing. It's an
so
art.
important.
In our business world, we call it art direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creative director.
A creative director. You
Yeah.
feel like there's no limit. There's
It's
no
inspiring.
Yeah.
to
And
see
there's
that.
no end.
Yes.
And I love when there's no end.
Okay.
I hate ending, by the way.
This is a beautiful way to end because,
Okay.
like you said, patience is key. And if we imagine that our social media journey, our life journey, our business journey has no end, it's infinite.
Yeah.
How different would you show up
Exactly.
if you weren't focused on the result of one post or what the algorithm wants you to do today? You just focused on like infinite, building something infinite.
And I would never want anything. Like I told you, I hate endings. I really hate them. Whatever it is in any aspect in my life, I don't want things to end. But I am in acceptance with certain stages having to fall down and seasons. Like, just like there's a quote I saw that for you to accept that you are changing, it's just like a caterpillar. A caterpillar has to change into a butterfly, right?
Yeah.
After it turns into a butterfly, it just lives the state of a butterfly, not knowing that it was a caterpillar, you know, because it accepts it.
True.
For so long, the caterpillar can't fly, and it was accepting its stage. It wasn't going like, I want to fly. When am I turning into a butterfly?
Yes.
You know, it's just, I'm a caterpillar, and it is what it is, and I'm accepting it.
One day,
I'm gonna become a butterfly. Once it turned into a butterfly, it never looked back on being a caterpillar. It just accepted the change, and it spread its wings and it flew with its most beautiful form. And this is what we're waiting for.
Exactly. Waiting. Patience.
Yeah, patience.
Planting seeds today.
Yeah, but
and
again,
taking action.
Yes, because people are like, yeah, I'm manifesting every day.
Yes.
No. Manifesting is basically working for it until it becomes into existence. I hope that was good.
That was one of my best favorite conversations ever. I loved it. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you for this beautiful studio that you've created.
You're welcome.
This is so good for business owners, content creators.
Yeah, whoever wants anything.
Whoever wants it.
Hit us up. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
That's
you.
a wrap.
Bye-bye.